I fought through the pain and used my powers on the D-sword. It flew high up into the air. Serika screamed in rage, but I couldn't stop. The D-sword spun wildly as it launched itself at Serika. She knocked it away, but I wasn't done yet. I used my powers to make the D-sword fly again. The sword attacked her once more. She knocked it away, again. Each time it came at her, Serika knocked her down. I couldn't land an attack. Damn it, why? Why? Reading my mind, yeah. Then I realized she was looking at me. She wasn't looking at the sword. That's right, her power. By the way, how does she have powers, by the way? It's kind of weird, but I guess it's because she was born like during the earthquake, and I was wondering like how did the whole like the power thing, you know, how like the machine, you know, in the planetarium or whatever, I guess around this area, exploded and, you know, caused the earthquake and everything, but also gave a bunch of psychic powers to everybody. Like Serika was born after that, right? How did she get powers? I don't know. Or is that just part of the delusion as well? I guess, you know, it's like buy one get one free. You know, you also get born into the world, but also you get some special powers as well. You know, just an added bonus. Anyway, that's why I couldn't hit her, because she was mind reading. The sword lost its energy and clattered onto the floor. I fell to my knees and collapsed. Damn, this wasn't gonna work. She could read everything I was thinking. She knew the direction the sword was going to come, but more precisely, the direction I was sending it. You should do the I was thinking like you could do the trick where you're like you pretend to look somewhere else and then she'll look somewhere else and then you attack her, because then she won't be making eye contact, but then she'll read your mind, you know, because you'll be thinking about that, then she won't fall for it, I guess. Well, oh well. This was bad. The room seemed to spin and sometimes my vision would dim. I couldn't move my arms or legs. I felt cold, like I needed to throw up. Well, like I was thinking, like, you know, do the whole like oh, what's up with that? Is it a plane? You know, and then you point at the sky, and everybody else looks at the sky, and then you know sneakily do something else, I guess. But again, she'll probably read your mind before you do that, I guess. So can't do it. Serika said it again, that this is what was what I wanted. But I couldn't let myself believe her. What should I do? What do I do? What if I changed the directions of the lights to blind her and then attacked? But the second I thought it, she knew. What if I pretended to make the D-sword disappear, then concealed it somewhere on the stage? The second I thought of it, she knew of that too. I didn't have the strength left to attack her myself. Even if I did, it was useless to try to attack someone who could read my thoughts. And what could I do? Think. Think. There has to be a way. I was the one who created her. Well, I mean, you could also... I am the one who created you. I can also be the one who can uncreate you. And then Thanos snap. And then she falls into dust. Whatever. Then suddenly I had an idea. Her expression suddenly changed. She was staring at me with wide eyes. Her mind reading meant that she already knew. She already knew exactly what I was thinking. But still.
関係ない。考えが読まれていようが、この手なら関係ない。
When I saw the tension on her face, I was sure of it. There was still a way I could win. I formed a strong delusion in my mind. When I did, I was hit by a headache 1,000 times worse than when I normally use my powers. It was far worse than having a needle stab into my temples. It was like every blood vessel in my head was filled with thorns. The pain was so bad I started to vomit up stomach acid. Serica tried to run over to me and stopped. She kept turning around looking at the exit near the seats. She seemed to be uncertain as whether she should run, which meant that this idea was going to work. Okay, I don't know exactly what he's doing. Again, I was thinking like, you know, he could like uncreate her somehow, but maybe that's not what he's... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. It wasn't something anyone had taught me, but I was sure I could do it. According to Kunasato, I wasn't like the other psychics, who had each gained a single power after being exposed to what she called the causal factor. She said I might be a true gigolomaniac. Funny, I still find that a funny name. With the power to make my delusions into reality. Gigolomaniac. And in fact, 6 years ago, I had created Serica, a human being. Yamera! I twisted my body upward and screamed. For some reason, unlimited blade works. A huge number of D-swords appear above my head, or it could be, you know, Gate of Babylon as well. You know, just summon a bunch of swords out of nowhere for some reason. Of course, they were all fakes. The closest weapon to me that I could easily imagine just happened to be my D-sword, but I real booted them anyway. They shone like fierce beasts in search of prey. My head felt like it was going to burst. I imagined each blood vessel bursting one after another. Or was I really imagining it? Was it going to kill me? But I didn't care. I'd have ended here. I'd have let my puppet go free. Serica changed the form of her D-sword and spread it out as far as it would go. She was gonna try and block them all. Okay, so I thought we were gonna Thanos snap her, but I guess we're just summoning a bunch of swords to attack her in every direction, you know? It's a lot of screaming. I screamed, and sent them all flying at Serica. It's very anime, actually. You know, summoning a bunch of swords and throwing it at someone. Probably happened before in like any kind of like fighting game. And then I finally won this goddamn game. Did it, finally. I beat the game. Get a phone call though.
僕です。一席ぶってもいいですか？エンディングに行く前に。
宮代、無事なのか？何があった？
Good, it connected. I could hear Adamuto and the others calling my name on the other end. I felt so cold my fingers were shaking. I turned the phone to speaker mode and started typing the data. Apparently I'm only halfway through. I mean, you know, we're getting to an ending.
例えばですけど、自分が高い建物の上の方に住んでいるとして、窓から外を見たら、女が男を殺していたとするじゃないですか。
What is this example? You live on top of a phone, you look down and saw a woman killing a man?
警察に通報
It's
しよう
random
と携帯を見
random
に行った
analogy.
時、女がこっちを見て目が合ってしまったんです。女はこっちを指さして口を動かしてます。何を言ってると思いますか？
まさか思考誘導されてるのか。そんな信憑性皆無なサイコパス診断がどうした？
Psychopath? I mean, I know what psychopath is. Well, when I think psychopath, I think of Kotami Nikire, Yorogobe. But yeah, it's kind of weird that he's just calling Kunasato out of nowhere and just telling this story. I guess it's based on like a test whether or not you're a psychopath, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, like, you know, all the endings are 64 hours. Yeah, it's like, I know how it works. I don't know the endings themselves, but there's a little, like, you know, non-spoiler guide that basically says, you know, once you finish the main ending, then you can do all the other endings or, like, branching off the story, and then finally one more epilogue, I think, or something like that. There's also a bunch of bad endings. I don't know, I want to see the bad ending. I want to see what they're like as well, but anyway. I should have figured she'd know about it.
普通の人ならこう考える。例えば、そこを動くな、通報するな、とかね。でも、サイコパスは違うそうですね。
Exclamation uptime? Well, I thought I had that actually. I thought I have Nightbot that would give you the thing, but I guess not. Well, if you're interested, I think I've been streaming for 3.5 hours around that time. You know, I think it shows on Franker Faces though, like automatically, but I don't know. Maybe not in normal Twitch. But anyway, I guess Takaru is just telling Kunasato the test, even though she already knows about it. Like, I don't know, but the psychopath test.
1、2、3。こっちが何階にいるか数えているんだって。そう。目撃者を殺しに行くためにです。
Oh, okay.
被害者側じゃなくて、加害者側に立って考えるから、ということらしいんですけど。
There's only silence. She must have decided there was no point in answering. But she was listening. What do I think of the game so far?
でも、
We'll see.
僕も正直、そんなのは嘘だと思うんです。本当のサイコパスは、そんなこと思わないんじゃないでしょうか。
I do have my complaints about Chaos Child, but I'll save until the. I want to see everything first before I give like a final criticism, maybe, or even if I still believe in my criticism. But anyway, I really want to think that.
エド・ゲインでも、ヘンリー・リー・ルーカスでも、誰でもいいんですけど、もし彼らがこの質問をされたら、きっと質問自体が理解できないと答えるでしょうね。
Ed Gein and Henry Lee Lucas. I don't know who these people are. Tips. What is it? What do you mean? Oh, serial killers. Oh, obviously, I guess. Serial killers. Genius cannibal psychiatrists, apparently. Or at least based on. Dug up local graves. Turned into... I guess he turned corpses into fashion. Amazing. Oh, psychopaths. Yorokobe. You had some few criticisms too, but they disappeared after the true end. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. Well, we'll see.
明日の晩ご飯とか、質問した連中の服が気に入らないとか、被害者側でも加害者側でもない、どっか遠くからものを考えてると思うんです。ロールシャッハテストでも何でも、彼らの口から出てくる回答はきっと意味なんてない。だって彼らにとって全てはきっとクソったれなゲームだったんだから。
My fingers stopped. It felt like a long time since I seen that picture.
だから思うんです。あいつは何を考えていたんだろうって。あいつ、何を聞かれても、何を喋っていても、実は別のところを見てたんです。一つの目的だけを見てたんです。あいつの口から出る言葉に意味なんてなかった。
お前、思考誘導されていないな。
You sure you're not being crazy right now,
悪魔とお前はどうした？
Takaru?
お前は無事なのか？
Kunasato must have sensed something was up because the tone of her voice changed.
あなたにはなんとなく分かっていたんですよね、あいつのこと。
The wound in my stomach and the pain in my head counted the time as regularly as a clock. Thud, thud, thud. There was a silence, 10 thuds long.
正確にはもちろん知らない。ただ、私が想像していることに近いのであれば、あいつは間違いなく向こう側だ。シリアルキラーという意味でもそうだが、こちら側にいる一般人とは最もかけ離れた存在だ。
でしょうね。きっとあいつもさっきの質問をされたら回数なんか数えない。
Kunasato understood after all. She knew that someone or something was wrong with Serika.
どうすれば僕は知ることができたんですかね。
そんなことはいい。答えろ。お前は無事なのか？
いえ、僕のことはいいんです。
You know, well,
どうすれば彼女を理解してやれたと思いますか？
I was just gonna say, it's kind of a dumb question for Kunasato to ask Takaru if he's being mind controlled, because if he is, he would just simply say no either way, so you never know if he's mind controlled, but I don't know. Anyway, well, the whole mind control thing is over, I imagine, though, because Dad is dead. Assuming he's not, like, assuming we're not in another layer of being mind controlled, thinking that he's dead, even though he's still alive, but I don't think so. I heard a small sound on the other end, and then a sharp voice that cut it off.
そんなことは不可能だ。言ったろ。あいつは向こう側の人間。いや、存在なんだ。こちら側にいるお前に理解できるはずがない。
Kunisato's use of the words different and normal, it was perfect, I thought. Sarika was different, and I was normal.
どうした？
I had a sudden premonition. I looked down at the D-sword in my hand. I had used this to create Sarika. That's right, I had created her. Which means I could do it again.
いえ、何でもありません。すいません。後のことをよろしくお願いします。
Now she would understand. Kunasato and Shinjo could deal with all this. I went to hang up without listening for her answer. But...
待て、宮代。一つだけ聞かせろ。
はい？何ですか？
お前はこちら側にいると言ってしまったが、ちなみにお前ならなんて答えるんだ？
さっきの質問ですか？もちろん僕も123なんて数えないですよ。でも通報するなとも言いません。だってネットで先に答えを見ちゃいましたから。
See, he's a right sider, or whatever. I ended what would probably be the last phone call of my life. And then I forced myself to get up, despite all the blood I'd lost. I mean, the last phone call of your life, that implies he's just gonna kill himself. Is that what's gonna happen? I mean, I was thinking like he could just like, you know, give himself up as the killer, you know, that seemed like that was the implication, but You can, like, take phone calls in prison, but anyway. My vision blurred and I staggered. But I had to keep going. I couldn't fall over yet. I'd had an idea while I talked to Kunasato on the phone. About what I really needed to do with my powers. About the one way to save her, instead of releasing her. Okay, ... Sarika was lying face down, unconscious. Okay, she's not dead yet, alright. She was a mess, there was blood everywhere. But it wasn't fatal, she was breathing. She was probably just unconscious. Just, just knocked her out with really sharp swords. I forced my wounded body over to her. I put both hands around the hilt of the D-sword I've been using to support myself. The sword had no weight, but I felt like I'd drop if I didn't. She must have heard the footsteps because Sarika gave a soft moan. She slowly raised her head and looked at me. I stood close enough to look down on her from the side. And then... we stab her in the face, no? Maybe not. Her eyes went wide with surprise. And then she started to crawl away from me. It sure is a convenient power, I told myself, now that it was too late. She knew what I was thinking without me having to even say it.
ただ、もう必要ないけどな。
嫌だ。
Sarika tried to get away, her fingers digging frantically into the stage as she crawled. She glared at me and got up, but then her strength failed her and this time she fell flat on her back. She gasped like she was drowning and quickly coughed up some blood. There were tears in her eyes. I readied the D-sword. It's hard to take the, I don't know, that's one of the criticisms I guess I have, but like it's hard to take the scene seriously sometimes when they say stuff like D-sword. But anyway, I stopped just once.
殺すわけじゃない。わかってるだろ。
Okay, so we're not gonna kill her. I thought I don't know what we're doing. What is Takaru doing? I've lost control of what he's even doing anymore. Her scream echoed violently in my ears.
どうしてそんなことを言うんだ。僕は
I was gonna use my D-sword to change her. Change her, okay. I was gonna change her to a normal girl with no powers, who didn't kill anyone, and who didn't even know that I created her. Okay, well, I mean, yeah, because we're a Gigalomaniac, we can just do anything we want, really. So that, I guess that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use like a blend of all the different powers we've seen before, such as mind control and that sort of thing. Just, I guess, do that. We can remake her, we can rebuild her. I was gonna rebuild her into a normal girl. Malberg, did I play Chaos Head before this? I did not. I mean, I've heard this game was like a standalone thing. It was a thematic sequel. There's a lot of references to the old game or the previous game, but it's not especially necessary as far as I know. I have to see when I see the epilogue, but as far as I know, it's a thematic sequel. Though I did watch part way of the anime, basically. I watched a bit of the anime, but obviously the anime was really bad. But so I do know the concepts and everything, but I never really went through the original visual novel of Chaos Head. I don't know, I was just never really interested in that, I'd rather just go through Chaos Child because of the whole murder mystery thing, right? You're halfway through Chaos Head after finishing Chaos Child. Okay, very similar to me, I guess. Except, like I watched the anime instead of the visual novel. But anyway, I already got ruined on the anime. Yeah, I think it can be stand. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like there's some debate, whether or not Chaos Child and Chaos Head are really directly linked and everything. Some people say like you gotta see the Chaos Child first or Chaos Head first. Some people say that you could be standalone. I don't know. I don't know. I just can't get into Chaos Head because of the whole, the whole magic stuff, the whole like Gigalomaniac stuff. It's actually when I dropped the anime when they introduced Gigalomaniacs, but I figured that I would, look past that for Chaos Child because of the whole murder mystery thing. I was more interested in that, the whole solving the case thing. Ironically, that's what the story's about, creating this murder mystery, as it turns out was the mystery. Anyway. I was gonna rebuild her into a normal girl.
それができる。僕にしかできない。
I created her from nothing. I knew I could do it. I could make her normal. Make her stronger, faster, better. Yeah, I don't know, but then, okay, so because the Chaos Head visual novel apparently gives more explanations for the Gigalomaniacs, but I kind of don't want to know because, I don't know, I just don't like it. I don't know. As a concept, but I'm trying to look past it because, I don't know. She was crying like a baby. Was she scared? Afraid? Why? She was weeping and her voice was desperate. I don't want to be normal. Her voice bounced off the stage and hung over the empty seats. Yeah, it's a whole in the sense that in the anime it was just like, dude, we have superpowers, cool. Yeah, I have that kind of feeling. I know it's not just that, but I don't know. I can't help but think that it's just superpowers, right? Especially because of Chaos Child was all about the whole murder mystery thing, and it added these these pseudo superpowers, and I'm like, darn, It's not like I mentioned before, but it's not like supernatural powers ruin the murder mystery, but it makes it less fun because then anything could happen, right? And maybe some people like that, the fact that anything could happen, but it kind of sort of ruins it for me because if anything can happen, then you can't speculate, right? You can't guess what's gonna happen because then it's just like, oh, you can just bend reality, whatever, it's like, oh, that's the answer, easy. Anyway. So then I hung over those empty seats. No one but me heard it. Her tears fell on the floor, mixing with my blood.
ダメだ。お前は普通の女の子になるんだ。
You know where to go? I spoke softly as I raised the D-sword high. Yeah, there's probably no more murder mystery stuff, but I mean that's fine. I'm gonna try. I mean, I have to see. I'm too invested basically. I have to see the true ending, the epilogue, whatever. I want to see how it all wraps together, how they're gonna put it all together, before I, say whether or not I actually like this game or not. I mean, I like some parts. Let me help you forever. Kind of weird, actually. In a way, she's kind of like a yandere waifu, created from our brain, made into reality. I remember what it was in Nono's letter. Forget everything and live the same life as everyone else does, but don't get buried among the crowd. That's impossible for me now. But I know you can do it. Even though you're only 6 years old.
それじゃあ、さよなら。
Hiya! Bam. And imagine, I guess it's like mind control, we're kind of basically replacing all her memories. And, oh. Oh, we're arrested. But yeah, we're probably just changing Serika's memories back into like, you know, just normal high school girl, you know? All of the extra stuff, all the supernatural stuff is gone. She's now just a normal girl. I'm trying to think, when you think about it, it kind of reminds me of, well, in a game I played quite recently, like, but then if you manipulate all her memories into like something else, then technically isn't that killing her, you know, in a way? At least her mind, anyway, because now she's a completely different person, right? Like, who is her? You know, is it her memories, or is it just her body, or her soul? I don't know. Anyway. Well, February 2016. We're in prison 3 months later, and we're waiting for the death penalty. Maybe, I don't know. Because Japan apparently still has the death penalty. Well, the morning at the children's welfare facility, Alba Dorm.
You? もうできるから。
When Uki finished washing her face and came into the dining room, Yuto was already getting breakfast ready.
私がやるって言ったのに。座ってていいよ。
She looked inside the kitchen and saw that Yuto had already done all of Uki's work for her. Fine, she thought, I'll do the cleanup myself. Then she sat in her chair without further complaint. Lately, Uki had learned to make a few dishes without resorting to the recipe scrapbook that Kurisu and Yui had made. Of course, her food didn't taste quite as good. But if nothing else, she wasn't trying difficult recipes and burning the pan, like she'd been doing right after she came back here. After a short wait, Yuto brought all the dishes to the table.
ありがとう。じゃあ、いただきます。
You know, I wonder, I don't know, wasn't Uki's whole deal, you know, granting the wishes of others? Her like powers never really came into play, so, well,
いただきます。
maybe in another ending. Yuto could also make simple dishes himself now. It was his idea and he'd been working hard at it. 3 months after everything that had happened, with its owner, Sakuma, and Takaru, Kurusu, and Yui gone, Alba Dorm itself was in danger. Interesting they say gone, so you don't know, it's ambiguous whether or not Takaru is alive right now. Maybe we'll see. The place had only survived because of Sakuma's salary, so that was natural. But when Shinjo had told them it was safe to go back to Shibuya, they'd both insisted on coming home to Alba Dorm, where like a lot of their family are basically dead. Shinjo insisted it was impossible, but surprisingly it was Momose who helped them out. I mean, I guess it's just kids there. It's just Uki and Yuto there. Weird. She called in a few favors, and Alba Clinic had become the property of a completely normal private doctor. Okay, hopefully normal this time, and not like a insane scientist trying to like have fun with mind control powers. And some of the clinic's earnings were dedicated to keeping Alba Dorm alive. Of course, it wasn't the family like it was before. The doctor just worked at the clinic, he didn't manage the dorm. Instead, a nutritionist and nurse, both of whom said they were acquaintances of Momose's, will come by every day. Okay, well, they have at least some grown-ups, I guess, taking care of them. Ending's supposed to leave you in the dark, it'll become clearer? Okay, well. But Uki and Yuto wanted to keep as much of their old lives as possible, so they wanted to make their own food. So on weekends and days when the nutritionist wouldn't come, or couldn't come, the two of them eagerly went to the kitchen. Can't speak.
おいしい。少し厚く切りすぎたけど。
Only very recently had Yuto started to talk more. After what had happened to Yui and Nono, and then what had been told about Sakuma and Takaru, he'd become nothing but an empty shell. I'm surprised he's still, like, sane. Well, the one thing that has saved him was that even then he stayed close to Uki. He wanted to be with someone. I guess this is all that's left of the original family. Of course, the wounds in his heart hadn't healed. No, they probably never would. The loneliness and regrets would come back to haunt him again and again. Uki herself sometimes had trouble sleeping at night. When that happened, she would go to Yuto's room because she was afraid of being alone at night, she would say, and the two of them would endure the terror together. The two of them were brother and sister, inseparable now. It's their new sister, Yuto. Just like Nono and Takaru had been.
あ、そうだ。受け入れのことだけど。
Uki's chopstick suddenly froze.
僕はいいよ。
She didn't expect that answer. She thought Yuto would refuse.
使ってもらった方がきっといいよ。
Use what? I don't know. They were thinking of accepting new members at Alba Dorm, which would mean they'd have to use Takuru's or Nono's room. Okay. She wanted to save them, personally. Nono wasn't coming back, but she wanted to believe that Takaru might. Okay, there's implication that he's still alive. I assume he's only arrested, he's not dead. But if Yuto had made his decision as the older sister, she had to support him.
そうだね。
She smiled the best she could and started to eat more of her little brother's cooking. Yum yum yum. Alright, back to school. Hey, club room. Chaos. Who's left the newspaper club room? I mean, I've heard that Ito apparently has, recovered, so he's fine, I think. Ironically, well, not ironically, but I was expecting Hana was at least do something with the plot, but she just played video games the whole time, so that's her thing. She's never really contributed much, I guess. The door opened and Naramura Hinai walked into the newspaper club room.
あれれ、花んとこも実習?
Yeah, it's just her. She's just been doing this the entire plot. I was expecting her to do at least something, but nope. Just video games. The owner of the room raised a hand in greeting without even looking up, like she always did.
今日の機嫌はいい方か.
She learned how to tell from the sounds on the keyboard. Adamura sat in her usual spot and took out the book she was reading, Tero Miyake's famous 6,000 Lies and Deaths. Okay, well, it's not a big spoiler, but, don't tell me, basically. Don't tell me what happens later, please. There've been an awful lot of free periods lately, and during each one, she would either come here and read a book or work on a novel as part of her literature club activities. Miyashiro, Kurusu, and Ito were gone, so Kazuki was, Kazuki was always here alone. Miyashiro, Kurusu, Ito, well, it's funny how, they're so ambiguous. They say Miyashiro, Kurusu, and Ito were gone, as if Ito and Miyashiro are dead. I don't think Miyashiro's dead, necessarily. Even, Uki said something along the lines of how he might come back, and Ito's not dead, as far as I know. He might be a little bit his brain might be a little bit messed up, but, he's not dead, as far as I know. And she almost never said anything. There's no need to worry about hearing lies. It was the perfect place for her. After the incident, she spent several weeks in Akihabara before suddenly being allowed to go back to Shibuya. Allowed wasn't the right word. She'd been dragged back here. She hated it, but even if it meant another fight with her family, there was nothing else she could be doing, or she could think of doing, rather. There hadn't been any problems with psychics since then, at least publicly. Sometimes Shinjo would call to check in on her, but nothing special was going on. But she never expected the case to end like it did. Apparently. She saw an unfamiliar expression in the book, so she decided to copy it down into the notebook she kept in the newspaper club. Handwriting was the best way to do this stuff, she thought. There's no class in just typing everything onto a computer. Well, I do have to agree. Sometimes you have to write stuff down in order to remember it better. I feel like, anyway. I feel like when I write notes, if I do it with a pen and paper, I remember it better instead of typing on a computer. But that's just me, I guess. Oh, she stood up and looked for it on the steel shelves against the wall. But it wasn't where she thought it would be. She reached out her hand toward the back of the shelf. And the papers that had been piled there fell off. Adamura and Kazuki froze when they saw one of them. It was a big map folded many times over. It was the big case map. She didn't have to spread it out to know what it was. It was the one the newspaper club had put on the wall while they were going over the case, but there was no need for it anymore. So the first thing Kazuki had done after she come back to this room was take it off the wall. Adamura had come back a few weeks later, but she hadn't said a word about it at vanishing. Now it would be more accurate to say that she wouldn't.
そういえばさ
ん
セリー少しだけ光に反応したって目が覚める兆候かもって
Seri. Serika? Is she in a coma? Okay. Anime coma. Alright. It was something that Shinjo had just told her on the phone. Kazuki turned around to look at her. What will you do? Her face seemed to say. Adamura frowned and scratched her head.
どうもこうも宮代先輩の希望通りにするだけだよ
Okay, what he wanted. I can only assume he's alive. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to say what he wanted. Again, more hints that he's not exactly dead, or maybe he'll die later. You know, again, there is a possibility of a death penalty. I don't know. There's nothing else she could do. That was the promise she made with him. Kazuki nodded and looked somewhere else. Adamura followed her gaze. And also my closet keeps making weird ghost noises. It keeps like... My closet's just haunted. Why does it keep doing that anyway? She was looking at the chairs where Miyashiro and Serika used to sit. For what it was worth, Adamura hadn't sat there a single time since she started coming here. Oh, Frisia. Oh, there you go. Apparently, somehow. I mean, we know that, but like, you know, how do you explain that to like normal people? How do you explain that? Again, I mentioned it before, but how do you explain mind control to the judge in the court of law? That's hard to say, but well, that was Momose's first question after hearing about what had just happened at the hospital. Yep.
だいぶ回復してきましたが、本当に思考誘導されていただけのようですね。委員会の情報は持ってないと見ていいでしょう。あと可能性があるのは尾上と宮代だけなんですが。
この状況じゃね。
Kunosato and Momose both sighed at the same time. Sakuma was dead. Well, yeah, he's confirmed dead. I mean, obviously, you take a sword in the back of your head, and, I mean, I don't think you're coming back from that. They'd gone over everything he owned, as well as his body, but learned barely anything. She had found, with the help of her very, very strange acquaintances in Akihabara, STEINS Gate? I don't know, that Sakuma had indeed worked in the basement under AH Tokyo General Hospital, but nothing else.
データを丸ごと消されてしまってはな。
There is no data left of Sakuma. She hated to admit it, but the committee was good at their work, and fast. Even the police didn't seem to know who he was. Well, dead end for her. That night, 3 months ago, okay, she still didn't know what had happened between Miyashiro, Onoi, and Sakuma then. But if what she was imagining was correct, especially in light of her last call with Miyashiro, there was a need to question what Serika had told her as Frisia. She talked a lot about the committee, but looking back, there was a good chance it was a lie used to gain Kunosato's cooperation. As proof, even after she'd taken the psychics out of Shibuya, nothing had happened. Her Haka, her Super Haka acquaintance, maybe. I don't know. It might be a STEINS reference, maybe. I don't know. But her hacker acquaintance had checked his network and hadn't seen anything at all. So yeah, well, we know that. We know that Serika was mind-controlled into saying that, or she, gave herself the mind control to say that. So it actually was a lie, the whole, cleaning up psychics thing. That wasn't real. With no real reason to stay in Akihabara anymore, she'd come back to Shibuya, but while she was gone, all the threads connecting Sakuma to the committee had vanished. Either she'd screw up, or maybe...
やはり佐久間は末端組織の人間でしかなかったということか。
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't his goal after all. I mean, then what was his goal? I'm thinking, well, it could be just, he's just a psycho. He's just a freaking psycho. He just wanted to do this for fun. That was his reason, that he gave. Which meant they simply gave up on him when he was no longer useful. But there was a lot of equipment that had disappeared from the underground facility. Even if he was the one who'd moved it, someone else must be in charge of it now. If she could find out who that someone was.
あと、
Oh.
たどれる可能性があるとすれば、
Momose looked at Kunosato and tapped her own temples.
ここね。カオスチャイルド症候群。
Yeah, so, well, we were told that Chaos Child Syndrome is related to PTSD, but there's an implication that it means something else as well. We still don't really know what that means. At least so far. That was the one route she still had open to her. It was a piece of evidence she'd chosen to use to get her revenge on the committee. That strange disease that had started showing up in certain victims of the earthquake. Her phone began to vibrate in her pocket. She saw the name on the phone and realized that it wasn't time for his usual check-in. That meant something had happened. Shinjo?
どうした？
尾上が。
Well, February 2016. AH Tokyo General Hospital. Sarika's waking up from her anime coma. She slowly stepped into the hospital room. Or at least, it's not exclusively anime, but, you always see it in a lot of fiction. The character is conveniently in a coma, The room was clean, the air was pure. She nodded, satisfied with that. It was disappointing that no one had brought any flowers, but in light of his condition, there's no helping that. His condition? The curtain was closed, so she couldn't see him from here. Oh, okay. Is Takaru also in a coma? Is that what this is? Maybe? I mean, the only other option would be Ito, but didn't they say Ito was recovered already? I don't know. Well, she walked softly without sound. She approached the bed nervously. She put her hand on the curtain and slowly opened it. Oh. I see nothing. The person she was looking for was lying there. I mean, I see nothing. Did she see something? She sighed in relief, and then brought her face close to his, as if giving a kiss to a loved one. She was close enough that her short hair fell on his face. He's fine, yeah. He's fine. He's lost a little weight, but it was still the face of the boy she'd known for years. Alright. Okay, I don't know. She opened the window. Fresh air blew into the room. The weather was great. It was a perfect day to go outside. CG.
行こうタク
Okay, so it's confirmed that apparently she was looking at Takaru, but... Flatline. Flatline, she just dies. I don't know.
本日午前9時過ぎ、ニュージェネレーションの狂気の再来と呼ばれる連続殺人事件を引き起こした犯人、宮代拓が収容先の病院から姿を消しました。
Nani? He just disappeared? Okay, so he was in the hospital, but then he just disappeared somehow? Weird.
現場には争ったとみられる警察官の遺体が残されており、
okay, weird. Alright.
なお犯人を病院に収容していた理由ですが、警察はカオスチャイルド症候群者である宮代拓を検査するためと釈明しており、警備体制に問題はなかったと。
Chaos Child Syndrome. Mentioning again. Is that it? Okay, there's the ending. Okay, well, I'm left confused, but, I know there's more, though. So I guess that'll be more explained later. I was wondering, I mean, the implication is that he left the hospital? He just left? He left and then killed a bunch of people? I don't believe that. I think something else happened, probably. That's what happened, but I don't know. Oh, really loud? Yeah. Well, it's I think I've put it at like a decent volume. It shouldn't be too loud. It shouldn't be clipping or anything. Hopefully. I don't know. This part will probably get copyrighted, by the way, in the VOD. But anyway, there you go. There you go. That's the, I mean, the common ending. Anyway, I don't know anything about else about the other routes, but I'll probably explore that later. You know, because there's more. And I guess I don't know. I guess for now I'll say preliminary. What's the word? Preliminary. My thoughts on Chaos Child. I like the murder mystery. Character's not so bad. I've seen negative reviews of this game that are very far and few in between, by the way. You know, for the most part, apparently people say this is a very good visual novel, and it's super good apparently, and that's my expectations. I'm worried if my expectations are too high, but I feel like, again, the whole superpowers thing, the whole like egomaniacs thing, feels like it comes out of left field. I'm willing to look past that, but you know, it feels sometimes it feels a little ridiculous, you know, when people can just like use psychic powers, bam, like that. It's easy, you know. But I don't know. That's just what I feel right now. And also another, like, I remember reading a negative review where people say like, yeah, the pacing, the filler, you know, there's a lot of filler in this game apparently that, you know, pads out the length a lot. And I guess I sort of agree, but personally I don't mind that too much actually. Filler, like, I went through Fate Stay Night and Hollow Ataraxia. I'm immune to filler. Filler doesn't affect me. So I'm fine with that. But yeah, it's my biggest criticism right now anyway is the whole like egomaniacs thing, and how it just, I don't know, it kind of just breaks my immersion. It just doesn't fit for me, you know. That's just me though. Yeah, you held the game to a much lower opinion after only finishing the first ending. Yeah, later on you find better. We'll see, I guess. We'll see. I'm reserving my final judgment until I see everything. But yeah, for now that's what I feel. You know, the whole egomaniac thing. The whole like magic thing. I do like the characters though, you know, a little bit, you know, people say a little bit tropey, I guess, you know, big sister, childhood friend, you know, male best friend guy, stuff like that. But yeah, I do like it though. I do like some of the twists though. I do like the fact that Sarika, for example, like she was definitely set up to be like, oh, the whole like childhood friend, you know, and everything, that is just like acting dumb, you know, just to be our friend or whatever, but or acting like cutesy, you know, ha tee hee, you know, I'm a clumsy girl, I'm a clumsy cute girl. But actually, as it turns out, obviously that's not it at all, and she's something completely different. I like that twist. I like that. You know, that was kind of cool. I do like that. I don't know. I like Kunosato, by the way. I don't think Kunosato has a route, which is unfortunate. But I do like Kunosato. I like how she's just no nonsense and everything. What's this image? Why is she singing in a concert? Weird. I guess this is a rock band. We're in a rock band now. I guess that's. I don't know who's in this rock band, but I guess that's what it is. Reminds me of what's that from Bang Dream? Rosalia, you know, which in turn is also based on another band. I forget what it's called, but what's her name? Nana Mizuki, I think. It's like a very like, you know, well-known like singer in the anime community that do similar songs like these. It's a reference to Chaos Head. Okay, that's what it is. All right. Okay, we'll see. You know, well, compared to Steins Gate, I don't want to spoil Steins Gate too much in case, you know, anyone in the future who might be looking at this VOD hasn't like went through Steins Gate, but like without spoiling too much, I like Steins Gate better, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Like it has similar suspensions of belief, you know. You had to suspend your belief a little bit because it's science fiction, basically, you know. But I like Steins Gate. I like the way Steins Gate handled the whole science fiction a lot better compared to Chaos Child. But again, we'll see. This is just what I'm thinking right now. But yeah. Malberg, you like this one more than Steins Gate? Okay, we'll see. That's hard to top. I really love Steins Gate though. So let's see. I mean, I'm optimistic. I want to like this game, you know? Like I don't want to hate this game. I want to like it. So I'm really just, you know, just give me a good story. Give it to me. Give me the thing that will blow my mind.
たく、叶えられたやりたいこと。
Okay, Serica ASMR, alright. At the very end. Over Sky End. There you go, that's the first ending. And that's like only one ending. Hidden story's been unlocked. And there's much more to see. You know, that was, in a normal, like typical video game story, that would be the end. But, visual novels, I know visual novels. There's plenty more stuff to do. Especially with Chaos Child. This is where the game branches off and you can do like a whole bunch of other stuff and everything. But there you go. That's what I'm gonna do next time.